We're now streaming worldwide on RadioOnFire.com and the Radio on Fire app.
Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here. Diamond K in the morning on the all-new RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. A lot to talk about. A lot of things that I want to discuss today on the show. The Juneteenth celebration is something that in recent years I think has gotten even more attention. If you don't know, Juneteenth is the holiday celebrating the emancipation of African Americans who had been enslaved in the United States, in this country. Originating in Galveston, Texas, it is now celebrated annually on June the 19th throughout the United States, with increasing official recognition. It is on its way to becoming a federal holiday in 2021. Also called Freedom Day, also called Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day. So it is official that Juneteenth is a federal holiday. So it commemorates the moment in 1865 when news of emancipation reached the enslaved people in Galveston, Texas. It took a back seat during the civil rights movement. However, Juneteenth made a resurgence in the 80s and the 90s in communities across this country. Texas became the first state to establish it as a holiday back in 1980. And it has been a long path for Juneteenth to become a federal holiday. For much of this country, Juneteenth has been a date observed mostly by Black Americans. Mostly. But since the reckoning reignited by the killing of George Floyd last year, the tide has really changed. Congress passed legislation that would establish June the 19th as Juneteenth National Independence Day, sending the bill to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature. This is the first holiday approved since Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which was established back in 1983, and it was a whole lot going on to get that in the books. Getting to this point took pushes by activists, several legislative attempts, and momentum generated by the Black Lives Matter movement. Congress has in various years passed resolutions honoring Juneteenth. But it wasn't until last year that lawmakers considered making it a national holiday. So despite broad bipartisan support, Democrats and Republicans, the effort was unsuccessful. However, earlier this year, the efforts were renewed, and they reintroduced the Juneteenth National Independence Day back in February. So this week was announced that the bill would no longer be blocked from advancing. The Senate unanimously passed the resolution on Tuesday. The House approved the measure on Wednesday. For far too long, the story of our country's history has been incomplete, as we have failed to acknowledge, address, and come to grips with our nation's original sin, which is slavery. So Congress passed a bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. So Joe Biden is going to sign the bill into law today, 3:30 p.m., and he's going to deliver some remarks. Well, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. So, you've been seeing people talking about Juneteenth more and more. Maybe when you were in school, they didn't talk about it, or they glossed over it, or just, breezed past it. So Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday.